Hello, welcome back to my channel. I just want to apologize right off the bat. The way I'm going to sound in this, I am still getting over a nasty head cold I've had for the last several days. So I'm going to sound nasally, congested, all that crap. But I did not want that to interfere with me helping some of you, particularly if you're Muslim and especially if you're a Muslim woman. Because I know there are some Muslim women out there that have found themselves in a little sticky predicament. So, first, what I'm going to do here is I am going to read the verse from the relevant surah. This is Surah 4, verse 23. The Quran is divided into 114 surahs. I'm going to be using this translation here. Prohibited to you for sex marriage are your mothers, daughters, sisters, father's sisters, mother's sisters, brothers, daughters, sisters' daughters, foster mothers, who gave you suck.
Yeah. What are you sniggering at?
Yes, that's the translation here. Foster sisters, your wives' mothers, your stepdaughters under your guardianship, born of your wives, to whom you have gone in. No prohibition if you have not gone in. That's nice. Those who have been wives of your sons, proceeding from your loins, and two sisters in wedlock at one and the same time, except for what is past, for God is oft forgiving, most merciful.
And Bob's your uncle.
Alright, so what the heck is that saying? How's that going to be relevant to how I'm helping you out here? Okay, well, basically, right, that's listing who you can have sex, i.e. be married, because if you have sex, you should be married, okay, if you're Muslim.
مرد بیدین صحیح میگوید.
So if blood relation, then it's haram. So forbidden to have sex with, marry, or if they've suckled you, or I guess you could say it's halal. It means not forbidden for you to be alone with them. However you want to think about that. Haram, halal, 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 haram, halal. Now, if you are a Muslim woman who, through no fault of your own, have found yourself alone with a young man whom is not a blood relation to you, or is someone you have not suckled, given suck to, what can you do? And by the way, the reason I'm directing this to the women here is because the young man in that situation, honestly, he's probably really got nothing to worry about.
Yeah! What are you, gay?
Nothing's going to happen to him. Sorry. I didn't make up the religion.
Silence! I kill you!
So what can you do? Well, fortunately, there is what's called a hadith. Hadith is a saying traditionally attributed to Muhammad, or like a close associate, that is supposed to more or less have the same authority as the Quran. Heyo, future Petey here. I need to interrupt really quickly to clarify something that past Petey has just said about the authority of the hadith and the authority of the Quran. So, past Petey has just said that the authority of the hadith and authority of the Quran more or less the same, and he referenced the relevant surah and verse to indicate this. And that's not strictly speaking untrue, but it's not the entire story. And I need to give a little bit more of that story so that I can avoid any actuallys that might come my way because of this video. And so it is the case that in most of the Muslim communities around the world, the hadith are going to be thought to have varying levels of authenticity and therefore varying levels of authority. Now, one of the rules of thumb here is that if you can show a hadith to go back to Muhammad, those hadiths are considered as authoritative as the Quran because of that surah and verse that past Petey pointed out. But it is also the case that any hadith that don't come from Muhammad are viewed with a little bit more suspicion. Alright, let me let you get back to past Petey here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my critical version of the Quran here, Robert Spencer. I'm going to read to you, alright, this first hadith here. Okay, according to tradition, there's a woman who came to Muhammad and told him that her husband, Abu Hudhaifa, was angry because a freed slave of his, a young man who had reached puberty, quote, enters our house freely, end quote. Muhammad told her, quote, suckle him, and you would become unlawful for him, and the rankling which Abu Hudayfa feels in his heart will disappear, end quote. The woman later reported that it worked. Quote, so I suckled him, and what was there in the heart of Abu Hudayfa disappeared, end quote. Yep, you heard that right. Ladies, if you find yourselves in this sticky situation, there's a way to get out of it. Boop. Pop out a boob and get to suckling.
Mama!
Now, the thing is, unfortunately, or fortunately, the one suckling won't do. Okay? Well, the one suckling is not enough. How many sucklings do you need? Well, in one hadith, Muhammad says you got to have 10. Okay? 10 sucklings, and then the young man is now haram or halal, again, however you want to think of that, about that, to you. But then later on, this is said to be abrogated. Okay, the doctrine of abrogation is something in Islamic theology I don't have time to go into, but you can look up that on your own. Okay, it's said to be abrogated to 5 sucklings. All right, so you want to get out of the situation, you got to suckle them. It needs to be a minimum of 5. Okay, at that point, you can be alone in the room with this young man. So look, ladies, bottom line here is you want to avoid being stoned to death, because that is the fate you have in store for you.
We have a lot of respect for women. We do not threaten women, ever.
Pop that boob out, give those 5 sucklings, and you'll be good to go. Funny thing, though, about the stoning to death prescription is that even though a lot of fundamentalist Muslim countries have this as a punishment for crimes of sexual immorality, especially for you women, you naughty women, that actually is not explicitly stated in the Quran, and this has caused some embarrassment. Well, there is a hadith that explains why that is the case, and that same hadith explains why you also don't find this whole thing about 5 and 10 sucklings explicitly in the Quran either, and it's because the verses on stoning to death and the verses on the sucklings shared the same fate. I'll read to you this hadith, and this hadith comes from Muhammad's favorite wife. Quote, the verse of stoning and of breastfeeding an adult 10 times was revealed, and the paper was with me under my pillow. When the messenger of Allah died, we were preoccupied with his death, and a tame sheep came in and ate it. Yes, that's right. The reason, according to this hadith, that you do not find explicit mentioning of stoning to death as a punishment for sexual immorality, especially again for you ladies, and this whole business about how to make somebody haram by giving them suck, is because they were there, okay? They were originally there in the Quran. It's just Muhammad's favorite wife, she put them under her pillow, and a sheep came along and ate them. But thankfully, we got the hadith. It helps us, well, you that are Muslims, again, especially you Muslim women.
We do not threaten women, ever.
Straighten this out, all right? Given that Allah controls everything, why in the heck did he operate this way? Because presumably it was his will for the sheep to eat these verses of the Quran.
The Ayatollah have a rock and roller!
I don't have any information on that.
Allah works in mysterious ways, right?
I don't know.
Again, this is really only for you Muslims out there. As I said, especially for you Muslim women.
We do not threaten women, ever.
Because for the rest of us, this is all moot, since the day of resurrection, here's what's going to happen to the rest of us. You're going to be resurrected, okay, so I guess that's nice. But then Allah's going to torture you, and he's going to kill you. Then he's going to resurrect you again. Then he's going to torture you. Then he's going to kill you. Then he's going to, can you guess what's coming next? He's going to resurrect you again, torture you, kill you, resurrect. Okay, you get the idea, right? On into infinity.
Sheesh.
Allah is great. Allah is merciful.